I never thought the gym would change my life. For me, it was just a place to escape, to drown out the noise in my head and the weight of everything happening outside. I'd signed up after a rough patch, breakups, loneliness, and a sense that I'd lost myself. The fluorescent lights, the clinking of dumbbells, the steady rhythm of treadmills. It was all a kind of white noise, a way to disappear. And then there was him, my gym trainer, Adrian, from the very first day. He seemed different from the rest. He was everything you expect in a trainer. Broad shoulders, perfect posture, strength in every step. But it wasn't just his physique that pulled me in. It was the way he carried himself. Calm, patient, with a smile that felt like it was meant just for you. His dark hair always fell in slight waves across his forehead, his eyes sharp but warm, and when he laughed, the whole space seemed to pause for a second. First day, he'd ask me, handing over a towel like it was part of some silent initiation ritual. I nodded nervously, muttering something about not knowing what I was doing. He smirked, a glimmer of playfulness in his gaze. Don't worry. Everyone starts somewhere. Stick with me and you'll be fine. And that's how it began. Every session after that, Adrian was there, guiding me, correcting my form, steadying my arms when the weights wobbled. His hands, firm, warm, would sometimes brush against mine, and it would send a spark through me I couldn't admit to anyone, not even myself at first. He'd crouch close when explaining, his voice low, his breath brushing my ear, and I'd lose my focus completely. But he wasn't just a trainer. He noticed things. When I looked tired, he'd ease off the intensity. When I seemed distracted, he'd crack a joke to pull me back. He asked about my life in a way that felt real, not just small talk. Soon, I found myself looking forward to the gym not for the workout, but for him. Weeks turned into months. The air between us shifted in ways I couldn't ignore. Lingering eye contact, his smile stretching wider when it was directed at me. The way he stood a little closer than necessary. Still, it was dangerous territory. He was my trainer, and more than that, he was a man. I had never said out loud what I felt, not to friends, not a family. Loving him seemed impossible. One evening, it all changed. The gym was quieter than usual. Most people had already left. Adrian had offered to stay after hours to help me with a new routine. The overhead lights cast soft shadows across his arms as he adjusted weights on the bar. Ready? He asked, flashing me that grin that always made my stomach twist. As I tried to focus, he stepped behind me to spot my lift. His hands hovered close, his presence so near I could feel the heat radiating off him. When I faltered halfway, his grip steadied mine, his chest brushing against my back. My heart pounded louder than any weight hitting the floor. Breathe, he whispered. I did, but not the way he meant. I set the weights down, my hands trembling. He leaned in, close enough that I could smell the faint mix of soap and cologne on his skin. Our eyes locked. And in that suspended second, the world outside the gym didn't exist. Adrian, I started, but my voice broke. He didn't let me finish. His hand found my wrist, gentle but certain, and he leaned in until his forehead rested against mine. His breath was uneven, his voice rough when he finally spoke. You don't know how long I've been waiting for this. And then he kissed me. It wasn't rushed or tentative. It was deep, unspoken words pouring out all at once. I melted into him, my hands gripping his shirt as if I'd drown if I let go. His arms wrapped around me, strong and protective, pulling me closer like I was the only person in his world. From that night, we were no longer trainer and client. We were something else. We met outside the gym more often. Coffee dates that stretched into late-night walks, workouts that ended in laughter instead of exhaustion. He showed me sides of himself I never saw at first. The quiet way he hummed when cooking, the softness in his gaze when he listened to me talk about my dreams, the way his hand always found mine like it belonged there. But love isn't always simple. There were moments of fear, being seen together, the risk of people talking. I worried about what others would think, about labels I hadn't yet embraced for myself. But Adrian, steady as always, was my anchor. Love doesn't need permission, he told me one night. His fingers laced through mine as we lay beneath the glow of city lights. It just needs truth. And I know the truth is, I love you. Hearing those words felt like finally exhaling after years of holding my breath. We grew stronger together. The gym became our story's beginning. But outside of it, we built something far more powerful, a bond that was equal parts passion and peace. He pushed me to believe in myself, and I reminded him that strength wasn't just measured in muscle, but in vulnerability. And the day I told him, I love you back, he didn't smile or laugh. His eyes shimmered with something deeper, and he held me so tight I could feel his heartbeat racing against mine. Now, when I walk into the gym, I don't see fluorescent lights or cold metal weights. I see the place where I found him, where rivalry with myself turned into self-discovery, where sweat and struggle transformed into love. And every time Adrian takes my hand, even in the simplest gesture, I know one thing with certainty. I fell for my gym trainer, and he felt the same.